Good morning. I'm City Manager Ed Zerker, and welcome to the 6th Community Budget Hearing that is April the 8th at 8:30 in the morning. This is hearing number 6 of 14. This is the hearing for Council District 3, and I'm very pleased that Councilwoman Deborah Stark is hosting this morning. I will first have an announcement by our Spanish language interpreter, and then we will go to comments from Councilwoman Deborah Stark, who is our host. With that, I will invite our interpreter today, Mario Barajas, to make his announcement.
Thank you, Ed. Good morning, everybody. My name is Mario Barajas, and together with my colleague Elsie Duarte, we will be serving as Spanish interpreters for today's virtual budget audience. We ask as a favor if you will be providing a public comment, please try to speak slowly and clearly so that we can try to interpret what you are saying as fully as possible. Thank you. Now, to avoid any confusion, I'm going to give a brief explanation how to sign on to the English telephone hearing, and you will be dialing from your telephone number or from your telephone 602-666-0783. And then you will be entering meeting ID 187-977-0590, then pound. And then press pound again when prompted for attendee ID. That is for the English line. Now, for our Spanish speakers, I'm going to be making the same announcement, but now in Spanish. Muy buenos días a todos. Mi nombre es Mario Barajas y junto con mi colega Elsie Duarte, estaremos sirviéndoles como intérpretes para la audiencia del presupuesto virtual de hoy. Les pedimos como favor, si es que va a estar dando un comentario público, que hable despacio y deténgase después de cada pocas oraciones para que podamos interpretar lo que esté diciendo de la manera más completa posible. Muchísimas gracias. Ahora les voy a estar indicando cómo acceder a la audiencia por teléfono en español, si es que aún no lo ha hecho. Va a estar marcando desde sus teléfonos al número de teléfono 602-666-0783. Introduzca el número de identificación o ID de esta reunión, que viene siendo 187-934-6217, luego el signo de número, o sea, el pound. Y finalmente, otra vez va a introducir pound cuando se le solicite el número de identificación o ID de asistente. Muchas gracias. Thank you, Ed.
Thank you, Mario. And now it's my privilege to introduce District 3 Councilwoman and newly elected to her seat, re-elected, Councilwoman Deborah Stark.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. I wish we could all be in person, and hopefully next year we'll be able to do that during our budget hearings. These hearings are vital to us recommending a budget to vote on, and so your comments are very valuable to us, and I hope that we hear a lot of good information from people today on issues in the city that you think are important. So I'm going to turn it over back to Ed, but I would like to at least have everyone have 3 minutes to speak. I believe we have 15 or 16 speakers, so that should be some adequate time, correct?
Yes, Councilwoman, we will go with 3 minutes today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Councilwoman Stark. As the Councilwoman mentioned, this is a trial budget presentation. In Phoenix, we start earlier than the state law requires, and the first thing that comes out is a trial budget for community comment. Then we hold hearings like this. As I said, we have 14, and this is the 6th, through the month of April, for community members to comment on what is important to them, what they think we've missed, what they think we've done correctly, and what they'd like to see more of or less of. This is important, as the Councilwoman said, for the council to get the information for a final budget decision. Final budget decisions are made beginning in May. According to state law, we end up with 3 separate votes, 1 in May and 2 in June. The budget this year is available online at phoenix.gov/budget. In past years, we've had hard copies at all the hearings. These are available at the phoenix.gov/budget website and gives you as much information as you'd like. We will have in a minute a overview video that's about 8 minutes, but it can in no way get into the full detail of the budget proposal. This year, the budget proposal is very exciting because there is money available to do things that are important for the community. There's $153 million of surplus resources to be allocated for community and employees in next year's budget. Currently, we are in negotiation with our city employee unions, and the budget allocates about 75 to 77% of the surplus to employee compensation to allow us to retain and attract top talent to serve the city. That will leave about $35 million for new programs at the city from our general fund. That $35 million is described in this booklet, which is again available virtually at our website, and which we will explain in the video. It is divided into 6 distinct areas of focus that reflect areas that the council has said are important. And those are administrative accountability, responding to COVID, responding to growth. We're the fastest growing city in the United States, so we just have to add some things to keep up with our growth. Climate change and heat resiliency, also affordable housing and homelessness, and the single largest investment from the budget additions goes to public safety, accountability, and reform. And so there's a lot in here to digest. You can go to the website, you can watch the video, you can spend 15 minutes or 15 hours just as you're interested and as you have time digging into the budget with all the resources available. I want to thank all the staff who are here. They are here. Many of them are watching online. We have some of them here in the chambers, socially distanced and masked, but they are here to listen to comments from the public as well. I want to especially thank our Budget and Research Department, led by Budget and Research Director Amber Williamson, and all the Budget and Research staff who are here to conduct the hearings and make sure they go smoothly. This is being streamed live on Phoenix TV. It's available on Channel 11 cable. It's also on the city's YouTube channel afterwards for you at any time you'd like to access it. Minutes are being taken and are distributed to the council each Thursday so that each council member can see a written record of what's been said at the hearings. With that, we'll take a few minutes to watch the overview video, and then we'll go to comments from the public. As Councilwoman Stark said, each member of the public will be given up to 3 minutes to speak. With that, let's roll the video.
The City of Phoenix trial budget for fiscal year 2021-22, proposed by the Phoenix City Manager, is ready for public review and comment. The goal of this trial budget is to identify programs and services that build a better, more inclusive city for all.
Phoenix has a long history of public budgeting, giving the community a voice in the future of our city by starting the public involvement much earlier than required. This year, due to the pandemic, public involvement will be virtual, but our goal is that we will provide even more opportunities for you to share your feedback.
We'll host virtual budget community hearings between April 2nd and April 20th in both English and Spanish by council district and citywide for youth and for seniors. And this year, we've launched the Fund Phoenix tool, an interactive way to share what's important to you when it comes to city programs and services.
The law requires the city's budget to be balanced each year. And this year, we are happy to report a projected budget surplus of $153 million, made up of $98 million in one-time funds and $55 million in ongoing funding. This is thanks to Phoenix's continued strong economy and sound leadership by the mayor and city council, and the city's strategic use of data to direct our efforts during the pandemic.
City employees have stood on the front lines of the pandemic more than a year and counting to provide critical services and support to our residents and customers. Approximately 77% of the surplus in the 2021-22 trial budget is allocated to employee compensation to continue to retain and recruit top talent, to provide the level of service our customers rely on to stay safe, healthy, and connected.
$35 million is allocated to address important needs raised by the council and the community across 6 areas. Focus Area 1, Public Safety Reform and Responsiveness. More accountability, responsiveness, transparency, and trust is demanded from public safety programs. In this budget proposal, the city expands an already successful fire department program where trained mental health experts respond to 911 callers needing crisis health services. The expansion of the Community Assistance Program follows community and council requests for innovative ways to respond to crisis calls for service with mental health professionals rather than police officers. This not only strengthens health outcomes, but frees up police officers and firefighters to focus on public safety calls, reducing response times for our community. In addition, the budget adds other important public safety reforms by adding additional 911 operators, reducing wait time for police public records, improving police officer accountability through an improved human resource management system, and more comprehensive reporting of crime data.
Focus Area 2, COVID response and resiliency. The city's navigated the COVID pandemic well, protecting employees and the community because we have relied on data and contracted public health experts to inform our efforts. We transitioned City Hall to an appointment-only model. We also pivoted our programs and services to support the community in need of Wi-Fi connectivity and access to emergency food support and virtual and curbside library services, requiring additional staffing and technology enhancements. Funding's required to continue these efforts through the pandemic.
Focus Area 3, Climate Change and Heat Readiness. Climate change and the record-breaking heat in Phoenix call for investment in strategies to address the negative impacts on our residents, particularly our most vulnerable, including seniors and those in poverty and experiencing homelessness. The trial budget includes a new Office of Heat Response and Mitigation to focus these efforts, the addition of staff to plant and maintain trees, and advance the city's Cool Corridors program, all to meet the goals of the Tree and Shade Master Plan to double the tree canopy by 2030 and reduce the impact of heat.
Focus Area 4, affordable housing and homelessness. The city has a lack of affordable housing and more people experiencing homelessness than ever before. The City Council approved a Housing Phoenix plan and a Homeless Strategies plan to find solutions to identify funding to increase and improve affordable housing units, and to leverage federal funding and work with community partners to help those experiencing homelessness. Funding will provide staffing and programs to foster affordable housing developments on city-owned land and ensure the safety and security of those experiencing homelessness and the impacted neighborhoods and businesses.
Focus Area 5, Building Community and Responding to Growth. There continues to be a great need to connect underserved communities to the economic benefits of our city's continued growth. We will fund programs and services that foster equitable education and recreation opportunities for youth and special needs populations, including the Phoenix Public Library's College Depot, clean and safe neighborhoods, and support for homegrown small businesses. Funding will support the growing needs at city parks and recreation centers, including the new Cesar Chavez Community Center, scheduled to open in the fall of 2021, Margaret T. Hance Park in downtown Phoenix, and Dean Hills Recreation Area in North Phoenix, as well as the successful Inclusive Recreation Program for residents with special needs. We also propose an increase in funding for arts and historic preservation grants.
Focus Area 6, Administrative Accountability. The city must continue to foster a diverse, equitable, and inclusive environment to live and work for residents and employees. To succeed, we propose to create the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. We'll also invest in technologies to support data-driven decision-making across city departments and to protect the city's IT systems from cybersecurity threats. Enhance election processes to increase engagement in city elections and connect residents to library and park services.
This has been just a taste of what you will find in the 2021-2022 City of Phoenix trial budget. We hope that you'll review additional details in the budget available online at phoenix.gov/budget.
Please share your feedback in whatever way works best for you at one of our 14 community budget hearings or by email at budget.research@phoenix.gov. Through our Fund Phoenix interactive tool, you can comment on the city's social media at City of Phoenix AZ on Facebook or Twitter and use the hashtag PhoenixBudget. Or call us at 602 and his proposed budget for 2021-22 to the Phoenix City Council on May 4th, 2021. The council's budget decision will take place on May 18th, 2021. Both meetings will be streamed online and on Phoenix TV. Thank you for being part of this important process. We look forward to hearing your ideas for this year's trial budget and the future of Phoenix.
Thank you. Welcome back to, this is the District 3 Community Budget Hearing hosted by Councilwoman Deborah Stark. At this time, we will go to our speakers who are signed up. Matt will give us a brief introduction to that and then call the names in order. Matt?
Thank you, sir. Just a brief statement about conduct during public comment. Members of the public will have the opportunity to speak for up to 3 minutes on budget issues of interest or concern to them. Speakers must present their comments in a respectful and courteous manner. Profane language and personal attacks on members of the public, council members, or staff are not allowed. A person who violates these rules can lose their opportunity to continue to speak. The Arizona Open Meeting Law permits the City Council to listen to the comments, but prohibits council members from discussing or acting on the matters presented. And with that, our first speaker is Lin-Ling Lee. Lin-Ling, are you on the line?
Yes, I am.
Please proceed.
Can I speak now?
Yes, please go ahead.
Good morning, Honorable Councilwoman Deborah Stark and everyone. My name is Ling Lee. I'm the Commissioner of Phoenix Office of Arts and Culture. I live in Phoenix District 3 since 1988. I love Phoenix District 3, and I'm so proud to have Councilwoman Deborah Stark lead District 3. I would like to thank City of Phoenix and Councilwoman Deborah Stark for your continuous support to arts and culture, especially during the pandemic. I sincerely appreciate this year City of Phoenix increased $200,000 trial budget for Phoenix Office of Arts and Culture. It consists of $110,000 for grants, $60,000 for public art maintenance, and $30,000 for support youth, professional development, and community programs. And it is important that this increase is also included in the final budget. Phoenix Office of Arts and Culture are doing excellent work to promote and enrich arts and culture for Phoenix public at large. With this budget increase, Phoenix Office of Arts and Culture will continue all the great work for Phoenix. I truly believe that arts and culture are very important. Arts and culture are the bridge connect people close together and bring us beauty, peace, harmony, understanding, appreciation, and unity. Arts and culture also have economic impact as well, including in creating jobs and business opportunities for Phoenix. I like arts and culture Year-round, I outreach to schools to promote arts and cultural awareness and diversity. I also sponsor and hold 10 to 12 arts and culture exhibitions every year to promote local, national, and international artists and to develop global arts and culture exchanges. Arts and culture are so important. Please include this increase of $200,000 in the final budget. Thank you very much for your attention, time, and support. Wish everyone healthy and safety. Thank you.
Matt, if I just might, I want to thank Miss Lee for being a volunteer on our Arts and Culture Commission. She does terrific work in promoting arts and culture. It's great to hear your voice, Miss Lee. I miss seeing you. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Robert Booker. Robert, are you on the line?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Please proceed.
Commissioner Stark and members, thank you very much for your attention to the arts and culture in Arizona. Again, I am in support of the trial budget of $200,000 increase for the office. As we know, the arts and culture reaches our communities large and small, plays an important role in the education of our young people, is an economic driver in Phoenix, and indeed supports cultural tourism, which we know supports a tourist that spends more dollars locally than any other particular tourist in the lineup of travel. I just want to say thank you once again for your support. We are doing all we can at the Arts Commission to broaden our reach, to really support the arts throughout Phoenix. And remember that without the arts, Phoenix would simply be a hot Sacramento. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker is Maria Sanchez. Maria, are you on the line? IT tells me it doesn't look like she is on the line, so we'll go next to Garrick McFadden. Garrick, are you on the line? IT's telling me it looks like Garrick is also not on the line. So our next speaker is Jacob Rayford. Jacob, are you on the line?
Yes, I am on the line. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. Please proceed.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and proceed now. Good morning, Council, and all in attendance today. My name is Jacob Rayford. I'm an advocate for the Neighborhood Organized Crisis Assistance Program, which is an initiative that for a department of the same name that will house nonviolent, non-criminal calls, including behavioral health, substance abuse, and dispatches related to our sisters and brothers in the unsheltered community. Of course, I wanted to briefly congratulate Councilmember Stark for a successful runoff campaign. We just hope your new term will see progressive steps, towards a more inclusive community in D3. It's a district I personally called home for the majority of my time here. I just wanted to briefly speak about the city's iteration of a crisis assistance program, and outside of an ad hoc committee, which we desperately need in order to make sure that these decisions are not unilaterally made and do have involvement from our community. I'm just going to list a few things relevant to my point today that we need, which is this program and its first responders should be separate from all current first responder departments. Of course, responders will not run background checks, report drug use or drug possession, or report someone they believe to be undocumented. Reporters or responders must not report calls or cases to the police or ICE, and would be required to have professional training in de-escalation. Since this is the new first responder service on site, it will be required that this department is the one making judgment calls using their professional expertise about any escalated situation that they're called to resolve. So it leads me to a concerning subject matter I want to talk about today. It's a question that I had directly for City Manager Ed Zerker and Assistant Manager Jeff Barton. For the past 3 days, we've been asking both of you whether or not your version of a crisis assistance program would defer to the police department or ICE for warrants, immigration, or any form of supposed law enforcement, rather than simply doing their job of providing what is essentially humanitarian work. This has repeatedly been ignored, and it's frankly becoming a case of concern. So I wanted to point out that this scenario is different from one of NOCAP's fundamental requirements, which would be which would see dispatch units deferred to outside departments for assistance only if they have exhausted their extensive range of nonviolent de-escalation tactics. Cases which have been rare in other similar departments across the nation. This is entirely different from a possible reality that this city's CAP program would operate as another arm of the carceral system. So I'd like to use my remaining time for either Ed or Jeff, if he is here, to explain whether or not their program will be an agent of the carceral system, because this program will be ineffective as people with justified fear and anxiety towards policing will refrain from seeking critical assistance from professionals certified in these fields. And again, I'd like to point out that this is the third time that I've directly asked on record since Tuesday, and we're nearing the point of this becoming a public discussion. So I'd like this question to be answered today. Ed?
Thank you, Jacob. It's clear you've done a lot of homework, so thank you. The program is still conceptual and is being developed, but the concept is this, that the CAP program would be run with non-sworn people, so social workers, behavioral health experts, trained behavioral health folks. They would not have arrest powers. They would not be approaching things from a police perspective. The calls would come in from 911, and based on the triaging of it, if the CAP folks are dispatched, they would go to the scene and try to help the person who the call is about work through the situation in a way that gets it resolved as effectively as possible without police. Now, certainly if they get to the scene and it's something different, or if there's something life-threatening or criminal happening, police will be called, but the response would come from non-sworn folks. The connection to ICE only happens when an arrest or a citation in lieu of detention is made. So if that doesn't happen, if there's no arrest, if there's no CLD, then there's no connection to ICE. And if there's nothing that warrants the need for a police officer, either for safety or protection or because something criminal might be happening, there would not be the engagement of the police department either. That's one of the reasons why we're starting this out in the fire department, because they have that sort of civilian setup to begin with. I hope that answers your question.
Our next speaker is Marcus Reed. Marcus, are you on the line?
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Please proceed.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm hoping that Councilwoman Stark can kind of start considering a move towards health and healthcare wellness activities in her district. Right now, I'm actually on one of
Marcus, I'm not hearing your audio very well. I don't know if you can speak up or hold the phone closer to you.
I have bad connection here.
Try again, Marcus. There's a lot of background noise or clicking or bumping, so if you can hold the phone closer or not move the phone or something.
Okay. Can you hear me right now?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
okay.
sir.
So I'm hoping in Douglas Stark's district, specifically North Mountain, she could consider investment in hotels. I believe that this would, with the amount of summer rescues that we have to do. I also agree with the NOCAP program, investment in that. And I want that we start making health services in schools, especially when kids get back to school due to the COVID stuff that's been in place. And I do believe that NOCAP would need it. We also need to invest in mental health resources for citywide counseling services. Prevention. I'll leave my comments at that today. Wait for the section, as you can tell, and so I'll yield the rest of my
Our next speaker is Linda Abeg. Linda, are you on the line?
I am.
Please proceed.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Zerker and Councilman Stark, and congratulations on your reelection. I would like to speak in support of the mental health initiative that we have and the mental health units in the budget, also the heat mitigation. Also, as a member of the Levine community, I'm requesting that the park at 55th Avenue in Samantha be added to our budget. Our area near the Loop 202 corridor is growing really quickly and should have the same level of infrastructure provided throughout the valley. And while the park on Samantha is of particular interest to me as an individual, I'd also like to speak to park development as a whole with some perspective as a member and the vice chair of the Levine Village Planning Committee. As you know, we're seeing a ton of development in Levine. Each case that we hear must comply with the general plan and zoning ordinances. And the exception right now in Levine development is the City of Phoenix property. Soft infrastructure like our parks is part of the general plan and the zoning requirements in Levine, yet the city has not pursued development of their park land here. The City of Phoenix should be complying with the general plan and zoning standards that are being enforced for developers and partnering with them. If Phoenix cannot support the growth in our area, it shouldn't allow it. I am, however, aware that Prop 207 limits the city's ability to change those development zoning entitlements for landowners if it would decrease their land value. But please consider that by failing to follow the zoning and general plan in regards to parks and other infrastructure, you are diminishing property value of individual homeowners in Levine. And please follow the plan that U.S. city leaders created and voted to enact. No decision here is a decision. Continuing to ignore the general plan and zoning for parks and infrastructure in Levine is essentially changing those plans and ordinances, but without going through the public hearing process to do so. And I can assure you that Levine is opposed to the city abandoning plans to develop the infrastructure in our area. As we continue to grow, please make sure Levine's share of the general fund is spent here. As you spend part of our budget surplus on community services and growth and climate change and heat resilience, please include Levine. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Patty Aragon Garcia. Patty, are you on the line? It looks like Patty is not on the line, so next we'll go to Samuel Merton. Samuel, are you on the line?
Yes.
Please proceed.
Hi, Samuel Merton. I'm also here with an initiative called the Neighborhood Organized Crisis Assistance Program. And I'd like to speak about the proposal to add funds to and expand the community advocacy program. Thank you, Ed Zerker, and also Jeff Barton for engaging with the public about this trial budget. I'd like to reiterate what Jacob said about the core fundamental aspect of a crisis assistance program is that people can trust that the responders are coming out to help them and provide aid and resources, and not arrest them or cause them to be arrested in the future. If we're trying to mirror cahoots in Oregon, that program does not report drug possession, does not run background checks, does not report cases to the police or ICE. And that's really what made it successful. People trusted them because they didn't care about criminal activity. They only cared about assistance. So when you think about that program, when you start developing it, you need to really envision the relationship between a CAB department and the Phoenix Police Department. They shouldn't really be working together. People should feel safe when they call this department and not feel like they're setting themselves up for arrest later on. And with that being said, I guess I'd like to use the rest of my time to reiterate some other points. It needs to be independent from any other department. It needs to have community oversight and control. There needs to be sufficient long-term funding, which has been addressed already. So the Neighborhood Organized Crisis Assistance Program, we have been communicating with communities across Phoenix. We've developed a letter that lists demands that everyone wants to see in a crisis assistance program. I'd like to urge you to read those demands and really listen to the community and hear what they have to say, and have community engagement when this is established. Thank you.
Thank you, Samuel. I just, again, to reiterate, the point of the CAP program, and again, it is a concept, it's not a formal program yet. The point is to have an outlet for resources and resolution outside of the police department. What we know is that our police officers are asked to try to resolve too many things that are not necessarily police-oriented. So this is in order to bring non-police resources to respond to people in crisis, to the point if they don't need the police resources for that. So we're trying. I think we're all trying to get to the same goal, which is to bring resolution without having to use police resources for it, and that's why the CAP program is identified to start in the fire department, so it is visibly separated from police.
Our next speaker is Joel Copland. Joel, are you on the line?
I think I'm online. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Please proceed.
Okay. Well, first I'd like to thank the City Manager Zerker and Councilmember Stark. Congratulations. And all the Budget Committee and staff for allowing us to speak on these important subjects, and even more for listening. My name is Joel Copeland, and for 4 years I have lived and created my art business at 119 South 11th Avenue, which is just south of the Carnegie Library, a beautiful post-classic revival brick building with 2.5-acre park between 10th Avenues and 12th Avenues between Washington and Jefferson. I can see it from my bedroom window. The Carnegie Building was completed in 1908 and is on the Registry of Historic Buildings. It has been empty, vacant, and unused for many years. I never see anybody there but the lawn keepers. It is owned by the city and is under the Office of Administration and is kept up by the Legislative Council, a state entity. We need to revive this beautiful edifice and do something great with it for the benefit of our great city and state. Why shouldn't it be the Museum of Arizona Artists? I put together a group of art professionals, art curators, gallery people and people from the business community who feel the same way. And we are now in the process of obtaining our 501c3 nonprofit status as the Friends of the Museum of Arizona Artists. We've taken a couple of tours through the building already, and there's nothing in there. It's absolutely empty. We are seeking pre-development funds from the city's budget to help raise the capital necessary to sustain our development plan, which would include private donations, public grants, admission fees, and other resources. And we feel that under the grants of the art and culture, as well as historic preservation and green space designations, this would give a space to exhibit Arizona's artists of color, women artists of Arizona, our indigenous artists, as well as the Latino communities from South Central Phoenix, and build a permanent collection from these fine artists. It would give us a space for programs for at-risk and economically challenged kids to understand art and express themselves through art and the creative process. It would be an economic boom for the local community at Central City Village, and salute to our Arizona artists as no other venue that exhibits solely Arizona art. And I want to thank you for your consideration and generosity on this most worthy project. Thank you very much for listening.
Our next speaker is Ramon Gomez. Ramon, are you on the line?
Yes, good morning, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, please proceed.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for having us here, and thank you for these meetings. I am a resident of Laveen, Arizona, the Paseo Point subdivision. I'm here this morning to speak on behalf of my community regarding the vacant lot off 55th Avenue and Samantha Way. My number one issue is it is the eyesore of that beautiful community. That Paseo Point subdivision was the last one being built. When it was being built, we got sold on that there's going to be a park, a school, the 202 is going to be there, which are all amenities to the community. As of now, the elementary is right there. The two is has been done, completed. The farmlands south of Dobbins now are being built, and that population just keeps growing. So that would be very beneficial to the community, so that we can go ahead and enjoy the park and make the community even more beautiful. Last 2 weeks ago, they had an event at Paseo Park Elementary. It was a Pay 60 event where they had kids there in the morning on Saturday. The field was crammed. and you could see that if they were filling up the space and there was not enough space for them to interact really with the sports that they were being trained on or whatever they were enjoying. If the park would have been there, it would have been another resource for them to use and expand those services to that park as well. So I hope that you all can take that into consideration so that we can make this community beautiful. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Pamela Tracy. Pamela, are you on the line?
Yes, I am. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I'm calling in support of the park on 55th Avenue and Samantha Way. I actually live on in a house facing the park, and I've lived here for 14 years, since 2007. And when I had my house built here, the developer told us that there was going to be a beautiful park there, and that's one of the main reasons that I purchased my home. And 14 years later, it's still an empty lot full of weeds. And as Ramon mentioned, it is an eyesore. We have a beautiful community out here, and the park is not something nice to look at when you're facing it every day. So I'm calling in to voice my support for the park, and I would appreciate it if the council added it to the budget this year for construction and maintenance. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Cynthia Garcia. Cynthia, are you on the line?
Yes, I am.
Please proceed.
I'm calling in to oppose the city manager's trial budget. The crisis program needs to be completely separate from the police department. The police do not need more money. Our community needs an alternative to policing, and a crisis program needs to be one that does not involve communicating with ICE or criminalizing those that do not have traditional homes. This is why I support the Neighborhood Organized Crisis Assistance Program. So please do the right thing and don't communicate with ICE and basically keep our community safe. I yield my time. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Sherry Rampy. Sherry, are you on the line?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Please proceed.
Thank you. My name is Sherry Rampy. I'm a member of the City of Phoenix Historic Preservation Commission. I've been a member since 2014. I would like to begin by thanking Councilwoman Stark and City Manager Zucker for their continued support of historic preservation for years and years now. Because historic preservation, I feel it enhances Phoenix not only through financially through programs like the Van Buren, but also brings people together through a joint knowledge of history. And so even if you, like myself, I'm a naturalized citizen and came to Phoenix not knowing anybody, but through some of our stories, say of down in Mystery Castle, you can be like, oh, my family's not that crazy or that kind of thing. But I really believe that it's beneficial to the city. I'm here actually mostly speaking about support for $200,000 for the bond funds that were depleted. Basically, it's $200,000 in the planning and development budget. Will maintain our city's historic resources until such time another bond election can be held. The city will receive a conservation easement on the property, and it provides an additional level of protection. And the last of these rehabilitation funds grants were used in areas that were actually in areas where people needed it financially to maintain their homes. It was not wealthy areas, but in lower and middle income areas. So in that, I would like to say again, thank you, and I'm here to ask you to support the funding. In addition, I would also like to voice my personal support for the funding of the arts and culture within this budget, and also the Phoenix Public Library funding, because I think that those programs are really needed, especially College Depot is amazing to first-time assistance for people that are going to college for the first time. So thank you again.
Our next speaker is Joanne Lowney. Joanne, are you on the line?
Yes, I am.
Please proceed.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you all for letting me speak. My focus of my comment is regarding arts, historic preservation, and heat mitigation through enhanced green space, focusing on the old Carnegie Library downtown. I'm a member of the Friends of the Museum of Arizona Artists, advocating for the old library and its park to become the home of this new museum, just as so many of these beautiful old Carnegie buildings around the nation have also been repurposed as arts and culture museums. I'm requesting funds to be set aside for developing the park in which the Carnegie Library sits. The surrounding park already exists, unused, ignored, and undeveloped. This park could be a sculpture garden in the proposed Museum of Arizona Artists to be located in the Carnegie Library in Washington Street in Central City. This year in Phoenix, we've lost many of our beautiful trees due to climate change. Trees and green spaces are so important in creating a livable city. The 2-acre park in which the historic Carnegie Library is located is a precious and lovely resource in great need of serious upkeep. That park should be upgraded with new plantings of trees and sculptures by Arizona artists. It would be a gem, a place of destination, historic interest, learning, and creativity. A place to see great sculpture, enjoy art, have art classes and performances as part of the public art programs, which could be offered at the proposed art museum and be housed in the old Carnegie Library. Thank you very much.
Ed, may I ask a question about the old library? I thought that was now owned by the state of Arizona. Am I?
Yeah, thank you,
I might
Councilwoman.
be-
Yeah, I'll ask Deputy City Manager Inger Erickson to address that, because that between the library, the parks, and the state, there's something going on there.
Yeah, I thought that was some confusion. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Yes, good morning, Councilwoman Stark. There is actually a lease with the state. It was a 50-year lease, which goes until 2034. And the use is limited to a library, a museum, or related uses, and it doesn't allow sub-leasing. So we're going to get the contract and look through it thoroughly and have the complete answer, but that's the basic information for that.
So Inger, it's owned by the city and leased by the state?
Correct.
Okay, as I went to a meeting there, oh gosh, maybe 4 years ago, and it appears that they store a lot of state records there, and that's why I was confused. So they're using it mainly for storage.
It would appear that there's not a real active use there. That is correct.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Matt?
Our next speaker is Dominic Benelli. Dominic, are you on the line?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Please proceed.
Okay, I'm calling in today in support of the Neighborhood Organized Crisis Assistance Program, or the NOCAP Coalition. We've already talked about this morning, but NOCAP proposes utilizing $20 million of surplus funds from the 2021 budget to establish an official first responders department for non-criminal and non-violent dispatches. This is similar to what we've been talking about this morning, City Manager Ed Zerker's proposal, but we do not want PPD or ICE involvement. PPD handles mental health checks atrociously. We don't feel safe when they get involved in any capacity, and this includes reporting to police. We need to understand that criminalizing mental health is a part of the problem. Thank you. I yield my time.
Councilwoman, I've checked with our IT, and that was the last public speaker signed up.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate all the comments. We'll certainly take them into consideration. Ed, we are compiling all these comments so that all of council can review, correct?
Councilmember Stark, that is correct. Budget and research staff take minutes of the meetings. Those minutes are distributed each Thursday evening for the week's meetings. And then also at the end, we will have a compilation of a full compilation of the comments in written form. And of course, these meetings are available through the Phoenix TV station on the YouTube, on our Phoenix TV YouTube channel.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate everybody attending today. I thank Budget and Research. They do great work for us. And I am going to try to attend a couple of the other budget hearings coming up so I get a real good sense of what we're hearing from the public. So once again, thank you all for your help and thank everyone for their comments.
Thank you, Councilmember Stark, and that will conclude this budget hearing. Our next one will be this evening at 5:30 for Council District 8. Thank you.